Okay. I don't mind going first. Although actually, I've got three things to share, and the first thing is was to just mention that the last thing I did on Agile Ventures was pairing with you on the maps thing. The second thing is just that I spent the only coding I did over the weekend was on a MOOC, so that's was just doing my MOOC homework. And the third thing is that I need somebody to cover for me for the EuroScrum this time tomorrow. So that's something you can think about doing, and if not, I'll post a notice on Slack asking for someone to cover it.
Yeah. Like, I assume everything I need to do is what I've been seeing in the Scrum so far. There's nothing.
That's right. Yeah. To start it, you just go to the. If I show the events page, to start it, you just go to the events page, and at the bottom there's a yellow Start a Hangout on Air button.
Mm.
If you're using the latest Chrome or Firefox, you may have to manually paste the links into the chat. There's a workaround for that involves accepting the Heroku security certificate that Pavel posted in the chat. You probably want to copy that from the chat into the website as a bit of instructions, because I don't know if that'll ever be fixed anytime soon. It's some kind of cross-domain security protection where a warning that the Agile Ventures secure site is actually being served from Heroku with the Heroku certificate.
Mm-hmm.
It's not for general use. Those kind of workarounds are pretty easy to do, but general use, they put it in a lot of their browsers in danger. So that's my three updates. Well, the only thing blocking me, as I said, is I won't be able to run Scrum tomorrow. May have a little bit of time to pair shortly after this. Oh, and welcome, Brian. Sasha, do you have anything? Sorry. Oh, we've got a big crowd here today. We've got Red, Thomas, Sasha, Brian, and Neil. Sasha, would you like to go next?
Yeah, well, I also, the last thing I did was pair with you. I haven't done any coding on Agile Ventures over the weekend. I'm around all of the daytime, at least today, for the next 5 hours or so. So if anyone's up for pairing, then I'm free. Yeah, yeah, I'm happy to host tomorrow morning's Scrum if no one else wants to. But that's about it for me, really.
All right, thank you, Sasha. David, are you with us still?
Yes. Would you like to go next, Thomas?
All right, absolutely. Yes. Welcome everybody, and hello to you and Sasha, but also to Brian, and I see that Gail is here with us, and Red, right? That's cool. I can only stay for a few minutes, so hopefully you guys can carry on some sort of a vote without me, in order for the AV102 people to be able to do their homework. But I haven't done much apart from hosting scrums this weekend, and yeah, I'll be available to pair later this afternoon. Just started out my new job, so I'm a little excited, a little busy right now. But yeah, I started a new feature story about refactoring some R specs that has to do with the articles controller. And I hope to be able to work with you, Sasha, on this statistics feature, but unfortunately I cannot do it right now. I pulled in your latest code. Everything is working fine for me. But I will not be available until like 6 o'clock UTC something.
I probably won't be around this evening because I'm going back now the other direction than I was on Friday, and I usually do that towards the end of the day.
All right. But that's it for me. David, could you pull up the pivotal tracker, and I just can point you toward a story that you can vote on before I have to go. If it's okay with you, David.
Yes, here it is, pivotal tracker coming up.
Cool. Let's have a quick look in the backlog. Stå inte över huvudet på mig, seriöst.
This is seriously slow.
Yeah, what's up? It's going down.
Ah, here it is. It's down now. So backlog is over here.
Let's have a look at the icebox. Actually, yeah, we just voted on the advanced statistical user profile. Yes, I would say that this story about adding search to projects index page is a good story to look at. And the thing here is that we want to be able to search. Yes, we're doing a projects index page redesign, and we want to be able to search for projects in an Ajax kind of way, basically, if you know what I mean. So you just hiding and showing certain classes or certain divs. So we actually pull everything in from the database, and in a similar way as we do on the members page, when the user starts to type in certain certain keywords, we are showing or hiding certain elements. Yeah. If you conduct that vote, David, that would be awesome.
Okay.
I think it's not a complex story. So I think I just given you all the information you need, but you can discuss this feature a little back and forward with the guys if you like. Okay.
Okay, great.
All right. I'm sorry that I'm in a rush, but I'm gonna take off. Guys, live long and prosper, and I hope to see you in a Scrum or pair programming session anytime soon. Okay.
See you soon.
All right. Take it easy, guys. So long.
Okay. Brian, welcome. I'm David, and wondered if I can ask you if it's your first time here. Well,
I think we can't hear you, Brian. Looks like you're talking.
I'll move on to Gail. It's Brian. If you say hello to us in the chat, if you click the little blue box on the left-hand side of your screen, you can talk to us in chat there. Yeah, great. Yeah, and tell us if it's your first time at the Scrum, if you've any questions, and if you'd like to go ahead and do the vote with us.
Okay.
I think Brian's microphones get muted automatically because of the background noise coming from Brian's room. Probably from Brian's connection rather than his own fault. Okay. Hello, Gail.
Hi. This is actually my second Agile Venture Scrum. I participated in one yesterday, but they didn't vote on a story.
Okay.
So I'm back just to finish my homework. I have a lot of over a year of experience working in a Scrum environment. Today I don't work in a Scrum environment, but I'm pretty familiar with the situation. I don't understand what you mean by vote. What's...
okay. Right. Well, what we're trying to do is to estimate the amount of effort that will be involved in the project.
Giving it points?
Giving it points, exactly.
Okay, and the point scale is?
Our point scale is 1 to 3. So 1 for easy, 3 for moderate, and 3 for complex.
Okay, and let's see if I understand the requirement correctly. It would be to bring the results in total from the server, hold them on the client side, and then run a autocomplete kind of search.
Yes, definitely be an autocomplete search. I think it would be optional whether to bring all the results in or to do the autocomplete kind of interactively with the server. But either way.
Okay.
Yes, and it doesn't mention autocomplete here, but.
Well, I mean, I'm presuming. Well, maybe it's.
We'll take that in there.
It sort of depends. There are certain. I don't know. I guess I give it a 2. I give it a 1 or a 2.
Yeah, and I'll explain the voting process in a minute too, because the other thing that we have tried to do is to have everybody vote at the same time without disclosing our votes.
Oh.
Kind of like if we were sitting face to face and we were holding cards face down and we all turned them over at once.
Well, how do we vote if we don't disclose our vote?
What we do is we type them into the chat window. So I'll type a number into the chat window, but I don't hit return until I say go, and then I say go, then everybody hits return at once, and then all the votes appear in the chat window.
My experience was client side, so for me it's easier and I think more responsive to bring all the results to the client initially, although it depends on how large a payload that would be. It's possible that there are open source plugins for doing the client side work. There's also stuff like Underscore available, which does nice work on arrays and stuff.
Good. Yeah. We have already actually in Agile Ventures. Where's the users page? It's gone. Right, drink it. The members page. We have an auto-completing search. There's kind of some ideas that maybe can be borrowed and adapted from there. If I go out of secure mode and go back to the regular mode, this filter here, and there's 500 users, so I'm not sure if it's loading all of the names down. If I rebuild it, so if I search for a common name like my own. I'm finding speed troubles here, and I don't know if it's. I start finding all these Davids, and they come up very, very quickly. So I suspect they are loaded into the browser already. There's only about 20 projects at the moment, so there's going to be a lot less data to bring into the client. So that's
I have one more question for you on the client side. Are you using any of the MVC frameworks, or are you just using jQuery?
The second. As far as I know, Sasha, have you seen any of Angular or anything like that on the client side in website one?
I don't think so. No, just jQuery is all I've seen.
Yeah. Okay. Right, we'll move on to the vote in a moment, but first of all, next I'll say hello and welcome to Red. Red, if your microphone is working, then we'll be able to talk to us. Otherwise, say hello in the chat. So, can you? We can't hear you, Red. Okay, well let's. I'll open the floor to Brian and Sasha if you've any questions about the feature before we vote before we vote on the estimates, and
So would it be similar to the method that's already there for the members search?
Say that again?
So would this be using basically the same mechanism that's already there for the members search?
I guess my opinion would be it would be great if it had this similar user experience, just for consistency. So I would see no reason why not to use a similar method. Yeah, I imagine the work is really around getting a JSON style project and keyword index prepared on the server side to be able to send out.
Brian's just asked a question.
Okay, I'll read that out. Hello, is there going to be a UI that is reused from another part of the application? I guess that is down to the implementer to decide. I don't know what this tells us about the UI. Okay, it's
Не, чекай, сам я
based
что менял.
on JavaScript.
Ну, я не можу добратися до своїх змін.
I think we can hear Red now.
Oh, great. I'll just turn your volume up there, Red, a bit. Hello and welcome, Red. I don't know if it's your first or second time here, or if you're already an Agile Ventures regular.
Maybe he's away from the microphone.
Okay. Right. Well, let's do the vote. Type your vote: 1 for simple, 2 for moderate, and 3 for complex. And it's kind of down to kind of a team culture as to what that is. So just give your opinion, and then we'll discuss the results of the vote afterwards to come up with a final estimate for Thomas and Sasha and their team. And that will hopefully help them plan it into the next iteration or into the backlog. Help prioritize it. So if you type in your numbers, 1, 2, or 3, and then on the count of 3, I will say return. Okay, does everybody have their numbers typed in?
Yeah.
I'm going to count 3, 2, 1, go, and hit return. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. It sounds like I'm outnumbered because it seems to me.
Даша, що не треба представити фрі-діл, якщо діла не треба.
Oh, could you speak a little more slowly for me, Red? Red Cat.
Фрі-діл робити.
I wonder if Red is talking to somebody else in the.
Yeah, sounds like that to me.
So I'll just mute you, Red. But if
Що просто?
when you're ready, just unmute yourself again when you want to speak to us. Okay, yeah, I was going to try and justify my 3 because it seems to me that there's without that the work with the arrays on the client side would be fairly straightforward, but on the server side we need to pull out some kind of keyword index and prepare that, and compared to some of the other tasks and Agile Ventures that have been a 2, that seems the package of the front end and the back end work seems relatively complex, considering that most of the coders that are likely to be working on it are fairly inexperienced, kind of new CS 169 and AV 102 graduates.
Yeah, I mean, I was sort of wavering between 2 and 3. I always struggle to get Ajax, get my head around Ajax operations. So I can be persuaded up to a 3 if no one makes a strong counter argument.
Yeah. Gail, you've got a lot of front-end experience, and it probably seemed easier to you.
Question: are we talking about a full text search?
It's well, actually, going by the story, they're only looking at searching the. Let's get rid of that. They're only looking at searching by keywords, and I'm not aware there's a keyword object in the database, but they're only searching on keywords and project names rather than a full text search of all.
And keyword is already input. It's available. Like when you're setting up the project has, or whatever it is we're looking at, the keyword is already available.
Let's create a new project and see, because I've not projects. Where's the button to make a new project? One that's missing. I have not seen it though. We've got. Oh, anyway, let's go to a project I'm a member of. I'm not sure I'm a member of that one. But let's look at some real projects. Go away menu. Right. It's not very responsive either. It's kind of hard to use on small windows. That's a different issue. Edit project details. We've got title, description, status, but we don't have a keywords added manually. But I would suggest it's kind of a full text search of title and description.
Okay. Well, that to me would indicate I'd probably do it client side. I mean server side. Excuse me, but I don't know then if I would build an index because we don't know what the keywords are. So I'm not. I've only worked with Ruby and Rails in the context of our course many years ago when I still did some server-side stuff. I think the SQL Server, but I'm sure all the major database packages give you an opportunity for full-text search. And if you're going to have to do that, then you're going to have to be bouncing back and forth between the client and the server as there are keystrokes, in which case I could be motivated to go all the way to a 3.
Okay. Well, thinking on what you said there, and one of the objectives of the Scrum estimating process is to try and get a discussion around the table where we decide if the story is specified tightly enough, and we try to understand how it might be implemented. So I would say another option would be to kind of, these descriptions are probably not going to be very long. Certainly right now they aren't very long because they're kind of limited kind of mentally by the size of the box there. And the way they appear on the screen, there's not much incentive to write a whole screen of text there. So they're going to be short enough, I hope, to bring that in search client side so that the browser would search that as a full text search. You won't have the advantage of having a pre-made index, but I wonder if our browsers are fast enough to do that.
What I'm thinking now is you could consider creating a widget component, or even seeing if there is one, and maybe adding keywords to the project for the project creator to make to input when you're creating the project or editing, because I'm just wondering about the full text search, if that's really necessary and really what you want to do. It's expensive relative, I think, to the other. I don't know. That's sort of, my inclinations, but remember, I really come from a different technology stack, and you have to keep that in mind when you consider what I think is easy or hard, or what I think ought to be done. So you might want to go back and further have the client talk about it some more. Again, it's also a little difficult for me to, in the sense that I have very minimal knowledge of the project, so I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a sense of what the volume is. I'm really talking out of thin air here, just based on my experience. But if so, you want to find a project. I can see, title and partial title search making a lot of sense. And for keywords, then I would say I would be inclined to add a keyword component to the database, and then a keyword to the record if it's something that's important, and then you could maybe even build a reusable component that you could use in other cases where you want to put in keywords.
I wonder if I'm pretty much persuaded by your argument that we don't have enough information to do an estimate. And maybe that a discussion between Thomas and Sam Joseph might clarify it a bit more.
Okay. But in any case, I think it's going to be in the 2+ to 3 zone, whatever is decided.
Yeah. So rather than I'm going to just save that, and rather than actually putting an estimate in there and saving it and considering it done, maybe a future Scrum students can come and future AV 102 students can come and revisit this estimate after they've had this discussion. So what would happen normally now is that I would go to there and save our decision, and that would be it, ready for planning. Now, on the other hand, unlike a full-time project, the planning isn't quite so critical, because actually the amount of time people are putting into the project varies week by week, and the skill level and experience varies week by week as well. So you probably don't have such a consistent velocity as we might get if we were using Scrum, 35 hours a week or 40 hours a week or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
There's some charts in here we can look at but we've kind of overrun time. We won't do that. But when you log into Pivotal Tracker, you can go and visit some charts. Don't know where they're hidden. Oh, they're down here. Go to charts, and you can look at the velocity as it's been over the months. There's things like burn down charts and burn up charts and things.
So I should be able to access the website one in Pivotal Tracker?
That's right. Even you'll get read-only access. I think one of the other homeworks is to actually request.
I did do that one. I have been attached to that.
So Brian has posted the link.
Oh, excellent.
Right, and there's 2 other links we'll need there. I'll just stop the recording there now, and hopefully make sure as to where to the YouTube link for the